Urgent Atlanta Falcons fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Atlanta Falcons updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey there, Falcons fans! Today, I've got some exciting news that's been buzzing around the NFL circles and definitely has your team at the center of attention. The Atlanta Falcons, a franchise with a rich history, a passionate fanbase, and a vision for the future, are actively making strategic moves in the offseason to build a roster that can compete at the highest level in 2025. Now, I know many of you have been anxious to see what the team's planning, and trust me, what's happening right now is a game changer. We're talking about potential trades, targeted acquisitions, and a clear message from the front office. They're serious about contending, and they're willing to do what it takes to get there. So, what's the big picture here? Well, the Falcons are leaving no stone unturned in their quest to build a team that's not only competitive but also ready to challenge the league's best. They've identified key areas of improvement, and their strategy involves bringing in experienced veterans as well as promising young talents through trade deals. The goal? To create a balanced roster that combines leadership, skill, and youthful energy. And let's be honest, with the NFC South getting more competitive each year, especially with the Buccaneers, Saints, and Panthers all aggressively rebuilding, the Falcons know they need to step up their game. Now, let's dive into some specifics. One of the most talked about aspects of their current offseason approach is the targeted trade for a seasoned player. This isn't just any player, we're talking about someone with a proven track record, a reputation for clutch performances, and leadership qualities that can elevate the entire team. The rumors suggest that this player has been a key contributor in his previous teams, maybe a veteran linebacker or a versatile defensive end who can immediately impact their defense. Imagine the kind of mentorship this veteran can provide to the young core of the Falcons, especially to the likes of defensive stars like Grady Jarrett or the rising linebacker, Troy Anderson. Having a player with playoff experience and a high football IQ could be the missing piece in their defensive puzzle, which has shown flashes of brilliance but needs consistency and leadership. But it's not just about adding seasoned veterans. The Falcons are also scouting the market for promising young players, raw but talented, who can be molded into future stars. This dual approach, blending experience with youth, is a classic strategy for teams aiming to contend in the long run. It's about creating a roster that's not only ready for the now but also built for sustained success. These younger players, often coming from college or other teams, show flashes of potential that the Falcons believe they can develop into key contributors. Whether it's a speedy wide receiver, a disruptive interior lineman, or a dynamic cornerback, the Falcons are looking to infuse their roster with fresh energy and talent. Now, I want to pause here for a second, because I know many of you are eager to hear about the specific players involved and the potential trade details. But what's certain is that the Falcons management is working diligently behind the scenes. They're in talks, negotiating, and trying to finalize deals that will strengthen their team without sacrificing too much in terms of draft capital or future flexibility. This balancing act is tricky, but given the front office's track record of making smart moves, fans can be optimistic that these trades will pay off. Let's take a quick moment to reflect on the Falcons' recent history. Since Arthur Smith took over as head coach, there's been a clear emphasis on building a strong defense and developing a dynamic offense led by quarterback Desmond Ridder. The team showed significant improvement last season, especially on offense, where players like Bijan Robinson, who was drafted last year, started to showcase their potential. Robinson, in particular, has been a fan favorite and a key piece for their future plans. But to truly elevate themselves into playoff contention, the Falcons need to add depth, experience, and playmakers across the board. That's exactly what these trade targets aim to do. Now, talking about the current roster, it's important to remember that the Falcons already have some promising young talent. Guys like Kyle Pitts, the talented tight end, and Drake London, their young wide receiver, are expected to take big steps forward this season. But they need complementary pieces, especially on the defensive side, which has shown vulnerability at times. The addition of a veteran linebacker or a disruptive pass rusher could be a game-changer for their defense, which historically has struggled to consistently pressure the quarterback or create turnovers. Improving in these areas could make a huge difference, especially in close games or playoff scenarios. And speaking of the playoffs, the Falcons fans are dreaming big, especially after their promising 2023 season. They showed flashes of brilliance, and with a few strategic additions, many believe they could be serious contenders in the NFC next year. The NFC South is still up for grabs, and the Falcons see this as their window to make a push. With the right pieces in place, a solid coaching staff, and a motivated roster, they could surprise a lot of people in 2025. The team's management is aware of this, and their moves in the offseason are driven by that desire to compete at the highest level. They're not just building for the future, they're building for the now, with an eye on making a deep playoff run. Now, let's talk about some of the key players that are rumored to be on the Falcons' radar. While nothing has been officially confirmed yet, insiders suggest that one of the trade targets could be a veteran linebacker from a team that's rebuilding or looking to clear cap space. This player could bring leadership and stability to their defense, which has been somewhat inconsistent but full of potential. On the offensive side, there's talk about possibly adding a playmaking wide receiver or a tight end that can stretch the field and give Desmond Ridder more options in the passing game. The Falcons' offensive scheme has been evolving, and they need reliable targets to maximize their offensive output. But beyond the specifics of players and trades, what's truly exciting is the overall direction the team is heading. The Falcons are clearly committed to competing in 2025, and their front office is working tirelessly to assemble a roster that balances youth and experience. They understand that building a winning team isn't just about one or two players, it's about depth, cohesion, and a clear vision. With the draft coming up and trade negotiations ongoing, the next few weeks could be pivotal for their season plans. Fans should stay tuned, because the moves they're making now could define the Falcons' trajectory for years to come. Now, I want to emphasize that this process is ongoing, and while we're hearing about the potential targets and strategies, nothing is set in stone yet. But what's undeniable is the clear intent from the Falcons' front office to be aggressive and strategic in their approach. They're not just sitting back and hoping things work out. They're actively shaping their roster to be a playoff-caliber unit, and that's incredibly exciting for everyone who calls Atlanta home or cheers for the Falcons from afar. Looking ahead, the upcoming season promises to be fascinating. Will the Falcons pull off these trades? Will they draft the right players to complement their existing core? How will these new additions gel with the team's culture and scheme? All of these questions are on fans' minds right now, and they should be. Because, let's face it, with the right moves, Atlanta can become a real force in the NFC. They have the talent, they have the coaching, and now they're just a few strategic decisions away from making a big splash. And it's not just about winning games, it's about restoring the Falcons' status as a playoff team and possibly contending for a Super Bowl in the coming years. The passion of the Atlanta fanbase is undeniable, and their support fuels this team's drive to succeed. The players know they have a city behind them, and that kind of energy can make all the difference on the field. So, as the offseason unfolds, keep a close eye on the Falcons' social media, news reports, and insider updates. The team is actively working behind the scenes, and soon enough, we might see some official announcements about these trade targets. It's an exciting time to be a Falcons fan, because the future looks brighter than ever, and the possibilities are endless. Whether it's a veteran leader or a young star, these additions could be what propels Atlanta into serious playoff contention. And with the foundation they're laying now, the 2025 season could be the start of something really special. Remember, the NFL is a league of constant change, and teams that are proactive often find success. The Falcons are clearly aiming high, and their recent moves show they're not settling for mediocrity. They want to be at the top of the NFC, competing with the best of the best, and making their mark in the league once again. Fans, players, and management are all aligned with that goal, and it's an exciting journey to watch unfold. So, buckle up, because the Atlanta Falcons are gearing up for a season that could surprise everyone. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's see how these strategic moves play out, because the best is yet to come. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these trade rumors? Who do you think the team should target? Are you excited about the direction the franchise is headed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, insights, and analysis, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons!